Good, good, good. Hello, hello. Here we
Hello.
are. Hello.
The animatronics do get a bit quirky at night.
Bit of quicks. Quims.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Today, in episode 3 of the Totally Serious podcast that's not silly at all, we are talking about.
Eh. we are
Well, what are we talking about?
we are talking about something that is probably important. We're talking about
Probably.
opinion and facts.
Yeah, so we're
These-
talking about how some people mix up their opinions together with facts. So you have people who do state facts in their videos, but then they tend to like mix their opinions among those facts that are not necessarily um, based on facts. And I think there's something good in having a healthy skepticism when looking at videos on the internet.
Yeah. Like it is that I just felt when I looked at the YouTube page when I saw the videos with like the thumbnails of like videos where it's like they did this and that happened and like basically the situation is way worse than you think or this is you know or when they're yapping about oh the AI bubble is going to burst. And then when you listen to the video and yappings, they usually just yap about um, like this is like that way and that shows like this, and usually there is often enough no necessarily no. I usually just don't see any evidence being provided that much. And they
Hmm.
often kind of provide it in a way where they say like they're talking about facts, right? But at the end, it's very unclear in some topics and um, certainly more like opinion than truth.
There's also this fear mongering going on around AI at the moment. We saw this video of this guy talking with sources. I'm not sure if I can find the video again. I'll look for it. But it was a video about um, how Hank Green um, was being sponsored by uh, what was it called again? Do you remember? Oh shit.
Oh
Is it?
yeah, it was this like control I think was what they called. Hello?
Yeah. Apparently Hank Green is being sponsored by Control AI, even though Control AI has been what was it, signed by Altman, the founder of OpenAI.
Yeah.
So they were kind of trying to make their sources were coming from um how do I say this? Basically, even some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform who we would see as trustworthy sometimes pick and choose their sources, and sometimes they don't really look into the sources by who they are signed or by who they are made, and it just goes to control their narrative. And I think as a viewer, it's important to sometimes think of the play devil's advocate and think of like, okay, but how could this be wrong? Or is there supporting evidence for this, or is there evidence against this? Because often when we watch YouTube videos, we tend to just kind of go along with what the creator is saying.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so, hmm. Usually, I mean, obviously, as a viewer, you're not really an expert, anyways, right? So if
But
someone's,
honestly, neither are most of these YouTubers, especially when they just have an opinion on things.
yeah, I mean, I also wouldn't mind it as much if they said, like, okay, this is the way that I see it, right? Or that this might not be like the whole truth, or it might not end up being the way that they present it, right? But usually they are very convicted in a certain in a certain way, right?
Hmm. I mean, they have their biases, obviously. I just don't think there's much unbiased content out there.
Hmm.
It's really difficult to be unbiased. Most people are pushing an idea or a narrative, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes confidence and being certain of something comes over stronger than, having general facts, because sometimes it's also difficult to find evidence for and especially against your opinion, because you don't go looking for the evidence against your opinion. And often media also perpetuates popular opinions, and then research gets made on those with those biases.
It's sometimes hard to tell like what's exactly going on in those things as well, right? Because I remember the time when Article 17 was a big talk about the copyrights law basically in Europe, right? And a lot of legacy media was just completely biased against the the way that people wanted it to be, right? Because there would have been pretty devastating amounts of like um weirdness going on in the internet because they were trying to apply laws that were fitting for, you know, TV or legacy media, but didn't really work regarding the internet.
Hmm.
It
I mean,
would have kind of resulted in a lot of videos being taken down, even if it was not like necessarily correct.
for sure. I mean, in that point, the media um, was trying to portray, at least the big media was trying to portray Article 13 as a good thing, right?
Um, yeah.
Which, if you have a bias, or the people who made that law probably had a bias because they were probably, I mean, I don't have facts for this, so I shouldn't speak about it, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, I think the problem is mostly that a lot of media, basically anything someone makes, has their biases in it. Because when you write or when you make a video, you're trying to explain something or you're trying to perpetuate your talking points or you're trying to find something out about something, and you often already have an idea of how something is, right? You have an opinion on how something functions or how something will go. And the research you do might just be looking for evidence of what you think is right. So doing good research might also, like having good videos might also include talking about talking points against what you are saying.
Yeah. No, I certainly get that. I mean, usually, people go searching for something that validifies their point of view, right?
For sure.
But,
I mean, just look at,
hmm?
mhm.
Yeah? What?
I mean, just look at half of the like YouTube videos about politics, right?
Yeah.
They are often just only covering what fits their narrative.
Hmm. For some people, that makes sense. Yeah, depending on what kind of direction they're leaning, right?
Hmm. I think people in all directions do this though.
Yeah.
We look to confirm our biases without necessarily playing devil's advocate and thinking of the factual evidence against our ideas.
Yeah.
So, what can we do to be more complete in our videos and when we watch things online?
Hmm. I mean, generally, what is I think important to state is that when you talk about something that you don't provide much evidence for, or that you don't thoroughly investigate, that it's usually an opinion, right? And I think
Hmm.
it's not a problem to have opinions, right? And to provide it as such, but to like kind of depict that to the person listening, and also as the someone to like watch videos from people to like pay attention. Hmm. Yeah.
To pay attention.
Yeah. Just pay attention
Just
to the
like,
class. Pay attention what I'm telling you. It's gonna be important.
I guess it's just important to check how exaggerated they are as well, because some content creators will exaggerate the talking points that they're talking about to make it seem more important or to make them seem more convincing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what bothers you um about all of this? What bothers you the most?
Mm, hmm. It's gotten a little bit harder to concentrate for sure. Let me just think for a second. I guess usually it's the kind of presentation. After all, it's kind of the fault of the way we also mix everything together when watching stuff nowadays, right? You don't necessarily have like experts or specialists really on certain things. And in some instances, that can certainly be a good thing, and in some instances, I think that's not so. Hmm.
So you're saying that it's not really good that we mix experts with people who don't really know too well what they're talking about?
I guess so. Then again,
You put them
obviously,
on the same level?
yeah. Then again, obviously, in the past, there have also been circumstances where certainly there has been a bias there as well, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that because they're viewed as experts that there's no bias, right? But I do think
Mm-hmm.
that there's a there's quite a heavier like pressure on the one who is consuming the content to know whether this person knows what they're talking about or not,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. So in the end, it's impossible to. In the end, it's important to critically think about what you're watching, to maybe check who is making the video and what their biases are.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, when you're watching some sort of like reactionary, right? When you think about people like, let's just say Asmongold for a moment, then he just was a good example to bring up because he certainly spreads his opinions a lot. I mean, I guess
Mm.
Hassan is also a good example of that. But
Mm-hmm.
they for sure are people that I'd say you have to take with a grain of salt because they are more going through stuff and looking for kind of informational things on on par on their bias, right? Because I don't really think
Mm-hmm.
that they are really researching it in a way that is actually showing off what truly is happening. It's more of like
I mean,
they,
to really understand what truly is happening, you have to get information from multiple sides and sources, and
yeah,
then you make your own conclusion out of it. Is there
yeah.
is there really something such as an objective truth? I
That
mean,
is that's the thing that as long as humans are involved, there is no objective truth. That is
mhm.
the thing is like something as actual objectivity does not exist in humans. It's
Mhm.
truly a thing that you can you can try your best to make it as much of an like unbiased like effort on finding something or like on depicting something, but in the end it's just that real objectivity is more of a concept and less of,
Mhm.
I mean, just when you look at, as an example, scientific research, right? Someone can say that they've figured out how something works, right? But no matter how well you are able to explain it in mathematics or in like some laws of physics, you can't 100% claim that that is exactly how it works, because usually it later gets more complicated than that, right? Like
Mhm.
just when you see at how much many times gravity has been worked through the ringer, right? There's always a part
Mhm.
of it that you can see how it can be comparable to what you can perceive, right?
Mhm.
But at the end, once the information has gone through a human, it's not really a representation of reality anymore. It's more of a
Yeah.
it's processed, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Kind of reminds
It's
me,
processed through ones.
yay! It kind of reminds me of we recently watched what the difference between an analog and a digital signal is, right?
Mhm.
Basically, how the digital signal tries its best to replicate what the analog signal is.
Mhm. Well, a digital signal kind of makes the analog signal. Well, a digital signal is kind of like a more clear notation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're basically
Mm.
translating it to something digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually what humans do
But
as
in
well.
that way you kind of in that way you do kind of lose the nuance of the details.
Yeah. I mean, you can explain how, as an example, processes in the body works, right? But you can't like point out every single atom that is, every single molecule that is in play of it.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, we
Hmm.
still, up to this day, don't fully know how exactly something like paracetamol goes through
We
the
just know
body.
it works.
Yeah, it does something. That is facts. True fact.
Facts.
Fact. Yeah. The truth is a truth. The facts are the facts.
And if the cheese jar opens, you gotta pay the tax. Hmm.
Hey. Hmm.
I think we talked long enough, don't you think?
I was thinking the same, yeah.
Hey, we made some good
Hey.
points.
Yeah,
Uh,
we have spoken the truth. We have
The truth has been spoken.
the gospel of goobers has spoken.
Hmm.
Okay, our devout followers, we now pass this down for generations to come.
Yay. Two
Yes.
generations.
Two
Ciao.
two generations. That is too much.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.